Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to do an edit with me. I'm going to be walking you through my Photoshop routine and how I put it into Lightroom. I know I promised you a video where I show you through my camera bag, but that will be next week, I promise. I just wanted to get something up for you guys, and it's been kind of a busy week, so I hope you enjoy. I also tagged some couple of video footage I took from the shoot. So I hope you enjoy, and let's roll the intro. Okay, so the first thing I do is I bring it into Photoshop. I like to edit all the different sections of the photo before I bring it into Lightroom. It just helps me get more control of how my photo turns out and how the outcome is. So the first thing I do is I press Command 0 to enlarge the image into the biggest possible so I can see every single detail. Then I will copy the background, so I'll have 2 copies. So just in case I mess up the first one, I always have backup. And then I will bring my toolbar up. So what I'll do is go to Windows and then Tools. Then I will grab this tool. This is the quick selection tool, so this helps to outline what you want to edit so you don't edit the full photo, and it's the quickest way because it will attach to how it thinks the face ends. Sometimes you will have to go into channels and paint that over because sometimes it will go into the background, but most of the times it's pretty accurate. So I'll grab my quick selection tool and then I will zoom in. Then I'm going to drag my quick selection tool over the face. You see how it popped into the hair as well? I'm going to leave it because that's what I wanted, but you could see how sometimes if the background is kind of the same color as the person's hair, it will then attach itself to the background. So you just want to be careful there because you don't want any discoloration. So this is pretty much selected the way I wanted to. So now I'm going to click levels. I mostly use levels. I used to use curves a lot, but I think levels is the quickest way for me. So I click levels. I like to leave it out. It's just easier to move around. Then you see down here, this is the bright side and this is the dark side. So it needs to bring the brightness up a little bit. So I'm going to drag it where you see the end of that line. I'm just going to drag this to the end of the line right there. You don't want to over brighten it and you don't want to under brighten it as well. You just want to bring it to the perfect spot. I'm going to bring it a little over the line because it needs to be bright. Then you're going to go here, go to feather because you don't want that harsh line around his face. You're going to feather it so it blends in properly, and you're just going to hit X. I think that looks good. So what I do next is I go straight for the eyes. It's my favorite part. So he has brown eyes, so you can't really bring anything up, but you can see me in the eyes taking the picture. I'm going to feather this again. And then I stay on the face. See this sunlight hitting his face? We really want that to be brought out. So I'm going to highlight that part. Now this, you have to be very careful that you don't get the harsh line. But I'm just going to brighten that a little bit. Then I'm going to go to feather again. And then that's perfect. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to click on my spot healing brush tool. This will get any unnecessary blemishes. So I'm going to enlarge that. And make sure, I just made that mistake, make sure you are on the background or else it will not work. There we go. this is a perfect example as well. Sometimes it is too big and it will make it look abnormal, so you would want to hit Command Z and smallen your brush tool so it's the size of the blemish you want to get rid of, and you just click. Sometimes you have to click around to make sure it's not like a big circle on his face, and then you go around clicking the unnecessary blemishes. Get rid of that. Command Z, that didn't look right. Smallen that, get that pimple. Alrighty, I don't like getting rid of all of the blemishes because it makes it look like fake. You don't want to make it look fake. So now we're gonna go back to our quick selection tool. I normally use just 3 tools while editing my photos. I use the spot healing tool, the quick selection tool, and sometimes the paintbrush. Depends if the quick selection tool captures everything I want it to capture or if it connects to the background. When it connects to the background, I will show you an example. Say it did that. You click on your levels or anything you want to use. Then you will go to channels. Click the levels for mask. That will make everything red that's not selected. Then you will want to get rid of this spot. So you will want to go to your paintbrush tool, make that bigger, and then just cover it over. This will make sure that it is not going to be edited when you edit it in your levels file. Then when you go to use the levels, the background is not changing. Now, I usually like to brighten the person, darken the background. This gives for a good shallow depth of field and also really pops out the subject you want to have in focus, the focus of the whole photo. This needs to be darkened anyway. There we go. Looking good. Now, since this photo is so sharp, I'm not going to sharpen it anymore. If you sharpen a photo too much, it's gonna start looking fake and like clammy, and you do not want that. So this is good for this photo. So now let's move on to my second photo. So I do Command S, and this will save the photo in my desktop. I will change it to a JPEG so I can use it on the internet and put it on the desktop. Okay, and there we go. So now we don't save this copy and we move on to this. This is the same photo, technically in a different angle, but now his eyes are closed. So we are gonna do kind of the same thing. I'm gonna bring that light out on the side of his face and darken the background while making his jean jacket more brighter. Alright, let's get going. Well, that looks nice. My style of photography is always making my main subject bright and making my background dark. that's just how I edit my photos. I like bright photos, especially so you know who the subject is and you know who you're supposed to focus on. But I believe it just depends on what type of photo you took. That's also a good reason. Some photos, it works. The background being bright, the subject being bright, the subject getting lost in the photo, if that's what you're going for. But for these type of photos right here, I like when the backgrounds are more dark. It really brings that bright sunset shadow type thing on the side of his face. It brings it more out. It brings his face out. Your eye gets drawn directly to the center of the photo, and I just love that so much. So we didn't really have to do a lot to this photo because his eyes are closed. So let's save this. Okay, and we're gonna close out of Photoshop entirely. Okay, and now we're gonna bring our photos into Lightroom. I like using Lightroom last to put my preset on because I don't really do a lot of editing in Lightroom. I choose to edit all my photos in Photoshop because I feel like Lightroom doesn't have that control that I'm looking for. So this is the last thing I do. I import my photos, then I'll go directly to Develop. I will select the photo that I want, and then I will throw my preset on this. I'm going to use this preset, and then I'm just going to change it a little bit. Okay. Okay, then I'll go back to library and I will export both of them. Make sure that my preset is on there. My watermark, sorry about that. And then I put it into the watermark folder and I save both of them. Okay, then I will go to watermarks. Here are my photos. Here's one, and here's two. And that is how I usually edit my photos. Usually some photos need more work, but for these, they came out beautiful. Well, I hope you liked today's video. I will, if you guys want, I could do more edit with me's. I love doing them, and I'm new to the voiceover thing, so I hope I did this right. And if you like this video, please like down below, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you Thursday with a new movie review. Bye!